Okay, back with another homework assignment. We've got problem 3, triangle congruence problems. State the theorem that proves the triangles are congruent. And for this one, the answer is provided, but I'm going to go ahead and walk through the explanation anyway. And so I'm going to pretend that those blue words and such are not there. And so I do see that I have a pair of sides that are congruent here and a pair of sides that are congruent here. So looking at this, I could try and figure out if this side is congruent to this side, but there's no way to prove that. So I can't do side, side, side. What I do see that I can do is I do have this angle and I do have this angle that are vertical angles. And so they are congruent because all vertical angles are congruent. And then after doing that, I can see that I can go side, angle, side, and side, angle, side to show that these two triangles are congruent by side, 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 angle, side. And we do need to write the congruence statement. So we do see that the triangle ABM is congruent to triangle CPM. And that's going to be it for number 1. And on to number 2. So we do see, as with number 1, that we've got some congruent parts here already. This angle is congruent to this angle. This angle is congruent to this angle. And I can see that they share this side in common. Your teacher may call that the reflexive property, that it's the same part shared between the two pieces, and so it is the same. And so I do see that I have, looking closely at these triangles, angle, side, angle for the triangle on the right, and angle, side, angle for the triangle on the left. So I am going to have angle, side, angle congruence here. And we will name these triangles triangle CRK is congruent to triangle CKM. And so you could name those triangles differently and still be correct. I just chose to name them CRK and CKM. Okay, moving on to the next page. We do have some triangles here. And it looks like we have that side is congruent to that side. This side is congruent to this side. And we know that this side is congruent to itself. So I can see that these triangles are congruent by side, 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 because I can prove that all 3 sides are the same length. Next, we do need to be careful and name these in the correct order so that our congruent statement matches and works. And so I'm going to go ahead with triangle YWZ. And again, you could name this differently and still be correct. And I'm going to say that is congruent to triangle WYX. Okay, triangles number 4, my bad. I do see that I have an angle here and an angle here. I've got a side here and a side here. And these here are vertical angles, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 hash mark on those outside angles, and I'll put 2 on the inside. This is just one way that you can delineate between those 2 angles. Again, all vertical angles are congruent. That's always going to be true. And so I do see that I have an angle, a side, and an angle for my triangle on top. And I have an angle, a side, and an angle for my triangle on bottom. And so these triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. And then my congruent statement, everyone, will look something like triangle MKL is congruent to triangle GKH. That's going to be it for number 4. Number 5. We see that we have that this side is congruent to this side is congruent to this side, and that this side is congruent to itself. So it's pretty easy to see that for this one, we do have side, side, side as our congruence reason. And we can say that triangle LNO is congruent to triangle LNM. And again, there are other ways you could name those triangles and still be correct. Number 6, we've got this side congruent to this side congruent to this side. And we do have an angle on each triangle that is trapped between the two sides. So this is going to be triangle congruence by side, angle, side. And I'm going to name my first triangle BCA. And I'm going to say that that's congruent to triangle MKL. That's going to be it for the homework for today. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have an awesome day.